So put your hands together for no other than Stuart Wedge.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you're able, please sit up in your chair and start rubbing your hands together. Faster. Faster. Okay, stop. What you just created is the biggest foe or enemy of most business activities. Friction. The wrong friction at the wrong moment kills momentum. You can't see friction, you feel it. Let me give you an example. A couple of weeks ago, I needed to take out the bin in the rain. I headed down the stairs, took off my jacket off the hook, put it on, opened the door, took a few steps, and then whack! I was on my back. My entire left side was sore. It was an agony. I was soaking wet. I'd slipped on some ice. The shoes I had on didn't have any grip. There was no friction. If you experience friction when you're trying to complete a task, make a sale, or gain approval, there's a chance you might not be successful, which could cost you a bonus, a raise, or that promotion you've been asking for. Friction is your foe. Peter Drucker said only 3 things exist naturally in organizations: friction, confusion, and underperformance. From what I have seen, friction shows up in 3 places. Friction with the message, friction with the engagement, and friction with the decision. Have you ever been confused by something somebody said at work? That's friction with the message. Have you ever heard the phrase, "It's not what you said, it's how you said it"? Married couples, I'm looking at you. That's friction with the engagement. And finally, have you ever asked for something at work, like funding for training, and been told no? That's friction with the decision. Almost every coach on the planet will tell you that you need to improve your communication skills. They're wrong. Remember, friction is your foe. It's holding you back from success now. You can't wait a year or 2 to fix your communication skills. Raise your hand if you've got a goal that you want to achieve this year. Keep it raised if your success relies on the approval or cooperation of somebody else. If you've got your hand raised, you do not control the outcome. Like a gladiator fighting for their life in the Colosseum, it's the will of the people that decides your fate. I'd like to read you a quote from the book Discourses. It's the words of a man called Epictetus. That name means acquired one. He was born into slavery, and he lived as a slave for 30 years. So in life, our first job is this: to divide and distinguish things into 2 categories. Externals I cannot control, but the choices I make with regard to them, I do control. Externals you cannot control, and choices you do control. In this context, it means that you cannot control your message or how your message or engagement efforts are received, but you can control your message or engagement efforts. I'm Stuart Wedge, a coach, consultant, and practitioner of information security. I safeguard the business operations of global tech companies and help security teams remove friction. For 3 decades, I've lived a life of conflict and friction. I've been to war in Iraq. I've been a bouncer at some of the most violent nightclubs and pubs in Edinburgh city centre. And would you believe it, I've even worked on the door of McDonald's. if you want to understand what friction looks like, try standing between 400 drunk Scottish people and their nuggets at 3 a.m. in the morning. It's utter chaos. My life is a little less chaotic now, and the most violence I see at work is my 2 cats fighting over the comfy spot on the sofa. A couple of years ago, a client reached out to me. He was having a little bit of trouble. His security team needed to work with another business unit, but they were failing to collaborate on those shared objectives. He asked me to see if I could help. If you don't understand something, you can't fix it. So that was my goal, to reach out to the different teams and figure out what was going on. I spoke with the security team and tried to get the background of the situation. And then I spoke with the head of the business unit to understand who they were, what they did, why it was important to the business, and then why they were seeing trouble with the security team. We met several times over the course of a few weeks, addressing these issues, trying to understand them. And you would think that it was communication that was the problem, but it wasn't. It was misunderstandings and misalignments. It was a problem with the message and problems with engagement. It was friction. I acted as a liaison between the 2 teams for a few weeks, fixing the problems, removing that friction, and helping things move again. Before, every request felt they were trying to push a boulder up a hill. After, that same work moved without force. I spoke to the client a couple of weeks before I came here to understand what was the result of the work that we did. And he said that the teams were now working together. There was less friction, there was less problems, and the momentum was regained. By the end of this engagement, I understood that the ultimate value of a security practitioner is in their ability to connect with the people that we work with, their colleagues, to understand their problems and frustrations and remove friction. But this is not in any way limited to security. If you have to do, or you need somebody to do something for you at work, you're going to experience friction and you're going to need to solve it. You need a solution. For the past year, I've been working on the congredia method. Congredia is a Latin word of 2 parts. The first is con, which means together. The second is gradior, which means to step or to go. Congredia means to step together, to engage with, to fight for. It's a solution for breaking down silos and building alliances. You can use this solution if you need somebody to approve a request or collaborate with you on that to help you succeed. Don't let friction stand in the way of your success. Friction is your foe. I have a community called Solving Friction. It's not a course or a funnel. It's a place for people like you, people like me, to learn how to remove friction from your work. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please pull out your phone and scan this QR code. Press join and connect with me in the community, and let's start removing friction from your work. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you.